So I learned somewhere that the Greek roots of the word economics or oikonomia has at its heart the concept of how one manages one's house. And maybe I learned it from Kelly, maybe. That was the basic Greek understanding of the word. There's something that feels right about that interpretation, something that feels warm, connected, organic even. In a lot of ways, that translation feels like the direct opposite of what most people feel when they hear the word economics. We imagine spreadsheets and rooms filled with bankers, Bloomberg terminals, acronyms like GDP and the IRS. The word has a lot of hard, harsh edges. It is frigid and foreboding. Many have argued, and I would concur, that the soul of economics has been lost. We are organisms, and so when we gather to do anything, even at the scale of global economics, you would hope that what gets done or created would feel organic, that its motivations, means, and outcomes would resonate with our bodies and our spirits, with our God-given passions and desires, that we would see ourselves reflected in this complex organism, that it would inhale and exhale like we do, that it would be in harmony with the environment and the ecology that allows us and it to exist. Instead, what we have is something that feels much more like a machine. It grinds, it crushes, it vibrates uncomfortably beneath our feet. It jars and concusses us. It makes waste and barely attempts to hide it. It is all hard edges, shiny on the outside, but hollow inside, a bit like a Tesla truck. How do we restore economics to something resembling the Greek definition, to something intimate, inviting and personal, imbued with moral clarity and direction, generative and generous, with the offer of freedom rather than captivity? The answer lies in the word proximity. In an increasingly financialized world where most large companies are owned and held at arm's length, these companies can only ever act like cold, hard assets, stores of value, to be sure, perhaps value creators, but distant, unfeeling numbers on a ledger, components of the machine. To reclaim the soul of companies and therefore the soul of economics, the nature of ownership must change. Proximate ownership, where the owners are not distant shareholders, but are those that know the company intimately and are the most direct beneficiaries or otherwise of its operations. That is the workers. When the influence of workers can extend to the behavior of the companies they own, their values, concerns, and yes, their dreams can fuel the life and purpose of a company. This concept of ownership, this redemption of economics, this reclaiming of the oikonomia, the house, the household, the home, has the potential to tame the machine and remake it so it can finally bring forth life. At my investment firm, Third Way Capital, we are seeking to see proximate ownership into the companies we invest in, working with founders to go beyond the lower bar of employee stock options and provide real, durable ownership to its workers. We believe the continent of Africa can be used as a seed ground for this new generative economics. These are big ideas, wild ideas. But the late Pope chose the name Francis because he believed in wild ideas. He believed in radical humanity, the kind exhibited by Francis of Assisi, after whom he named himself. Nothing else will suffice. So like Francis of Assisi, tear your clothes off, stand on top of your head, for it is the only way to see the things the right way up. And behold the king who rides on a donkey, for the world is his, and all the substance thereof. When all is said and done, this is his house, his economy. Friends, let us go forth and make it so.